Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Harakah Kadash, double the elder apostles, great millstone of rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the like certain truth. Uh, just watch this, this flick, Disclosure Day. Because, it seemed like, there'll be a few things kind of in there on it. And I'll watch it, and there's a few things there. But I'll just play some of the trailer just to get some points.
What did you steal?
Secrets. The data they paid me to protect.
It's funny as well because like even the cybersecurity stuff, like with geopolitical, you know, back and forth sort of going forth between these different nations, like cybersecurity, cybercrime is at the forefront of it. You know, you'll have like Russian hackers or Chinese hackers or whatever will be getting a hold of certain things from different nations, and that's become like a thing that lets you that shows that there's a conflict going on, even if they're not really saying, oh, there's big conflict and blah blah blah. You'll hear about Russian fighter jets, Russian planes or whatever, Russian ships, going near certain waters or crossing into certain airspaces. But then, the cyber side of it is a big part as well.
Are there people?
No.
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Today is today's.
Do you understand what she's saying?
I hear it's gibberish. I can't understand it.
You've got to speak in ancient. Got to speak it in the ancient dialects. Fucking hell, that's funny. But nah, that's kind of how they have the alien them, the little green men them talking where it's like some throat tongue clickety clack going down. It's funny as hell because the whole flick is more or less trying to kind of it's really just paving the way for like the chariots won, but then just them being intelligible. And it's funny because this just feels like a kind of begging for peace kind of little flick they put together, man, where they're trying to get some form of mercy. Because
And I can.
I don't know if it'll fuck up the video.
What's happening to me?
Generally,
People are
trailers
starved
ain't too
for the
bad.
truth.
It's funny as well. Starve for the truth. Starve for the truth. That's funny as fuck. They got Jake, and the role he kind of plays in the in the movie is he's kind of the head of the resistance or whatever it is, where he's kind of trying to peacemake. And it's funny because it's like that's been what Jake's trying to do, just because they're trying to get a place within Esau's system. But then, you know, the reality of it is, it's down to Yahba Shemiel, Shaba Shamaraka Kadash, you know, what Esau's gonna get, what he was gonna be dealing with. And the reality of the matter is, it's gonna be, you know, go according to the judgments where, you know, there's no out for Esau.
I'm a part of it now. I'm just sorry they made you a part of it too.
Hello, Jane. Please. Have a seat.
You know, utilizing them technology. You know, these are the things where, because I watched a kind of review a guy did. He said, or we spoke to you know, Steven Spielberg when he's put it together. He spoke to people talking about different leaks and whatnot from the government, and then basically incorporated them into you know, into the movie. But then obviously with it, it's a thing of, because, you know what, let me skip forward a bit, because there's yeah.
This 79-year terror campaign of lies has to end.
Yeah, they got like you know, so supposed footage from
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
That truth will upend all established order across the entire world.
Okay, no, I don't think they do. Yeah, they don't. You know, they'll have like fake found foot. Well, not even found footage. It would have been just like footage from like the 70s and whatnot, where it's funny, they'll have the chariots just zooming off, maneuvering anyhow, but then there's just meant to be all kinds of crashes happening, you know, where man just crashed in, and then these men, you know, you got the little green man. Fucking hell. Yeah, the little green. Fucking hell. That shit was funny. You got them slumped out, bro, with their guts hanging. Fucking hell. No, it's crazy. You know, these men are meant to have, you know, super chariots that just, you know, maneuvering anyhow through the galaxy. And then, you know, man just did not realize the planet Earth was there, and then just scraped into Roswell and blew their ass up, and they're just fucking and they're fucking slumped out on the thingies. But no, this is what do you call it? It's obviously with this this movie, they're just trying to push out vibrations of certain things. One big thing is the general like UFO files, UAP files, whatever it is, they're referring to it as they're just trying to push out the vibration to get people in the mindset of, and you know, to be ready for, oh, you know, there's gonna be chariots, there's gonna be, you know, these vehicles coming from, you know, the dark beyond. But then obviously, you know, as far as how that's gonna be addressed, it's different. It's, you know, it's they call this Disclosure Day, and I just thought, you know, yeah, Independence Day, and that the whole spirit of that film was, you know, the 96 one, the original. The whole spirit of the original one was, you know, just America, you know, leading the world, the whole world coming together to fight against, you know, aliens that are just coming to invade and fuck shit up. And then, you know, with this one, this, calling it Disclosure Day, you know, you have it where it's like, okay, no, we need to be, you know, at ease, at peace. You know, we need to make peace with the, you know, with the peeps. You know when these aliens come, and then as always, it's even putting in, you know, the treatment of Jake, kind of seemingly desert, you know, wanting some mercy towards that, because you have the aliens where it's going back to like the 60s and whatnot, 60s and 70s, and you have aliens coming in, and these men are just getting jacked up, or these men are getting dealt with, like a certain way. They're not even being dealt with like they're what does it say? Didn't remember what I was saying as well. I'll read this anyway. Oh yeah, now that it's prepping people for, the chariots being there, and it's just the disclosure day and the Independence Day is them, fighting against them, and succeeding and succeeding, and then disclosure day they're trying to put in the whole spirit of okay, no, it's humanity coming together, let's just all understand one another and love and peace, and then and we'll deal with the aliens, the little green men. Fucking hell, that shit was funny. But that's really what they're trying to facilitate. I'll read this. Revelation 12:7. It says, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was there place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out unto the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." So yeah, it's you're gonna have that war, that contention between, the chariots, the angels, and the chariots, where they're going to engage with Esau's militaries in the skies, man. Esau's fighter jets, his planes, is this and that. That's really how it's gonna go down. What was it? But then, the thing with the whole film is kind of the way they put it together is more or less you're dealing with, there's been, an extended, like multiple decades of just kind of, brushing it under the rug, and then utilizing, the alien them as a resource or whatever, and those things. But then, they, in the end, someone grew a conscience and was like, okay, no, this has to end. Everyone has to know the truth. But then, and then just kind of being like, okay, look now, we're not, you're gonna be acknowledged. We're gonna, the whole world's gonna know that you guys are kind of on the scene and what you man can do, and then we'll come together and we'll work things out. But the reality of that is, it's basically trying to push a spirit of, mercy for Esau, or some kind of ease, some kind of, peacemaking, coming together, hand joining in hand. But then what is it? It says, Job 20:10, it says, "His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods." See, his children will seek to please the poor. That's the thing, is even with what's going down, like, it's become evident, to everyone as far as what Esau's done. And the thing is as well, is when you get to the elite class, they're far more aware of the scale and extent of what's gone down, because they know it's the chosen they're dealing with. When you're dealing with the elite, they know it's those of Israel, the apple of the Most High's eye that you've laid your hands on. So for you to just try and fob that off, or not even engage with it, that's just like it's gonna eat away, because you're gonna know, damn, now this is actually kind of fucked. Like, we're gonna have to be held to some form of account for those things. And that's really where, they're trying to, supplicate and kind of be like, oh, okay, we'll offer you little things. And it's funny with with this movie is people are trying to work out, oh, what's the things, what's the hints they're trying to do. But obviously knowing the truth, you can just kind of cut to the heart of it. I was watching it, I was like, you know what, this is really like the whole kind of spirit of it is more just on, you should just, people need to be able to get together and just, just come and love and understand one another. And like, bro, it's it's about the scales, man, the scales of judgment. A righteous judgment taking place, man, where a punishment needs to be met in accordance to the crimes that have been done. And that's how, Esau will have, I can't even remember which one it is. Oh, one of the Greek goddesses with the blindfold around her thingy, her eyes. They say it's, blind justice. Esau will be talking about, the scales of justice. Esau can bang out the scales of justice. When the Most High is talking about the scales of justice, all of a sudden, now it's just peace and love the thing. Joel 3:4 says, yea, and what will you do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Yeah. It's like, what, are you gonna render me like, what you gonna offer me, man, for what's been done? Because, the verses above talking about selling a boy for a harlot, girl for wine, making merchandise of Jake. How can you, fill out that gap? But in reality, within the bounds of Esau's system, that can't even, the correction can't even take place. This guy needs to be taken out of the way, put into hardcore bondage, and then that's really where, it's gonna begin to be addressed, man. And then even with, with this film, it's the whole disclosure, the whole kind of concept that it seems to be about is finally revealing that truth to the whole world. But the reality is, with Esau, it's gonna, the things he's gonna reveal is gonna be truths that are convenient for him. He's so tell like, okay, there's chariots out there, these so-called UFOs, UAPs are real, but then it will be, trying to sell it as, okay, but it's a dangerous risk. Everyone needs to come together, and you're gonna have simple blacks in the military, fighting against the chariots. Meanwhile, it's though they're to their benefit, man, to their gain. But then, if you're black, if you're not an Israelite and you're just a black, then really, you ain't gonna have the means to to approach and address that. So this Psalm 64:8, it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. So yeah, his own tongue is going to fall on himself. Whatever kind of gain he's trying to get by putting out certain things, being like, okay, I'm going to utilize this truth, but I'm gonna spin it a certain way. I'm going to present it a certain way. That doesn't, those things don't work in his favor. In reality, it's all going to work for the furtherance of the truth. If you have Hashem Yashab Hashem Kadash, because that's the thing is with with the whole movie, the disclosure thing. It's it starts off a lot more. You're kind of wondering, what's. To be fair, you watched the I didn't watch the trailer before I went to watch it. I kind of heard, a few things about it. When I'm watching the trailer, you'll kind of know that there's no way it's not about aliens. But the way the film is kind of formulated, it's like at the start you're kind of meant to be like, oh, what's what's this about? What's the kind of focal point X, Y, Z? You know, what's these MacGuffins, blah blah blah. But then after, you know, it kind of reveals, it then becomes clear. This is like when, you know, they've realized the diabolical actions have taken against Jake, and then they're thinking like, damn, you know, maybe we need to, you know, there should be, maybe we do need to give them reparations, or maybe we need to do, you know, certain things, because like it's actually just insane to kind of hold a correction for that. You know, the full truth of these things is gonna be revealed, man. And one's gonna know who the chosen are, and one's gonna know who the wicked are, and then, you know, everything's gonna that new kingdom's gonna be established, man. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom.